Hi there, it's Memory from Friends Abroad Relationship School, and today I wanted to share with you a topic around exclusivity and relationship timelines. We have people who sometimes struggle because they assume that they are in a relationship with someone because they are sleeping with a person, or maybe they assume they're in a relationship because they are dating and they are also sleeping together. So what happens is, or the point is, exclusivity or relationship timelines need to be discussed. They are not a given. They are not assumed. Basically, what is helpful when you start talking to someone is to find out what they are looking for and whether you are on the same page. And if you are both on the same page, then proceed. When you continue dating, before you move further, dating somebody, look into your values. Are they aligned? If yes, continue. If no, it's best to leave the relationship early on. Before you sleep with someone, before you say yes, or before you initiate sex, it is helpful that you discuss with someone whether you are on the same page and you're looking for the same relationship, and also whether you are both happy to have these marathons or to have this physical contact while you are either exclusive or not exclusive. Because what happens is, in some cases, people just start to sleep together and then they find out that the other person assumes exclusivity. They are thinking that since we are sleeping together, we are exclusive, but that is not the case with everybody. In the early stages of dating, most of the time, you might not be exclusive. In the early stages of the relationship, most of the time, you are not in a relationship, an official confirmed relationship. So find out whether you are exclusive before you initiate any sex. Find out whether you're exclusive before you say yes to any sex. That is really important. And if you feel that you want commitment and you feel that you might attach to a person when you sleep with them, it is helpful that you also create that boundary for yourself where you probably avoid sleeping with a person before you are in a relationship, before a relationship is confirmed, or even before commitment is confirmed. Very, very important. And it's okay in some cases to wait until marriage if you feel that that matters to you, because we all have different convictions, things that we believe in, and things that we feel matter to us, and there's nothing wrong with that. And what also is helpful is to recognize that while you are right in your thinking and in your values and what you believe in, being exclusive does not guarantee that you'll have a relationship. And being in a relationship, even when it is confirmed, does not also guarantee that you'll be together forever or that they will marry you. That is very important. So I think at some point you want to decide what is best for you. And the best thing I suggest to anybody is to heal, so that you are not considering that sex is actually a reason for commitment. You need to look into why you are going to sleep with someone and find out why you are choosing that particular person, and also why you are having sex at some point in your life. I mean, this might sound like a silly question or something silly to consider, but the thing about it is, if you are going to be troubled after having sex with somebody, if you are going to struggle and feel like you have been used when you've slept with someone, then I think it is important that you really reflect on why you are considering sleeping with that person and why now. It is very important. And then look into whether you really need to, or maybe you need to wait until you find out where the relationship is going. And that can be helpful. Maybe at some point down the line, you might find that things will work out and you're on the same page, and then maybe you can say yes. But with the fact that I mentioned in mind, that it still doesn't guarantee that you are going to be together forever. And then before you confirm that you are boyfriend and girlfriend to your friends, please try and talk to the person and find out where you stand, especially around the 3-month marker. It's important that you both are clear about what you are. After that, before you move in together, some people move in before they get married, maybe around the 1-year marker. Again, it is important to reflect on whether you are still on the same page, whether a relationship is working well, and whether you feel that you are healthy together. Because sometimes people tend to feel that if they move in together, things are going to get better when things are not getting better in their relationship. It doesn't work like that. If it is not getting better, if it's not good when you do not live together, it's not going to get any better when you live together. Because actually you have a lot of space between the two of you when you don't live together, and that space is actually helpful for your relationship. So when you move in together, things are not likely to improve. So it's better that you assess whether things are going well, and if they are not, it might be best to look into why and work on that, and then maybe give yourself a timeline. And if things are not improving, then you're better off ending the relationship before you waste a lot of time. And that is for both of you. Very, very helpful and very important. And before you make any commitments, any marriage, look into your values, look into religion, politics, children, finances, and really make sure that you are on the same page. Many people tend to probably look at a person and they like this person probably for their looks, or maybe for their social status, or maybe for their wealth, for something, education. And that's not a reason for compatibility. Those are not attributes you consider for compatibility, really. I mean, they matter in some point, but in some way, but the main things you need to look into is to find out whether you collaborate, you work as a team, you manage conflict in a healthy way, whether you inspire each other, whether you allow each other to grow. In a nutshell, that's very, very important. Whether you communicate clearly and with clarity and in a healthy way. Those are very important things. So consider all these aspects, all these important aspects before you move your relationship forward. That's very important. Otherwise, you might find yourself regretting, especially around exclusivity. I'm going to say this about exclusivity. If you probably find out that your person who you have been dating for a short time is sleeping with other people, or they are meeting up with other people, then you need to really reflect on whether you want this kind of situation, or you need to communicate where you stand, where both of you stand in the relationship. The problem with communicating with someone who's sleeping with other people is that they are not sure about you if they are dating other people. Because although you might not have discussed exclusivity or a relationship, if someone is really into you and they decide that they want to be with you, they won't be sleeping with other people. But then maybe it's just a few weeks where you've started talking and you find out. So the idea is to really parent yourself and then look into these two decisions, whether you want to communicate and find out where you stand and express that you can only sleep with someone when you are exclusive. And that's important, which is also why you don't want to start sleeping with people before you know where you are going and before you know where you stand. The second option that I would recommend is to just detach, not sleep with them. And either you also date others without sleeping with them, or you just continue enjoying your life and focusing on other aspects of your life without really being too invested in this relationship, so that if it just comes to a standstill, that's okay. And if it progresses and they decide that they are going to leave these other people, that's okay. But you also need to be aware of timelines. You want to give yourself a timeline to say maybe around the 3 months marker, or if they want to sleep with you, then you want to find out really where you stand and express that you can only sleep with someone who's not sleeping with other people. And also you want to look into how they are treating you, and whether the relationship is actually a good relationship. That's very important. And what then needs to happen is, when you recognize that if you recognize that they are sleeping with other people, and you get to the 3 months marker and they haven't expressed exclusivity, then you want to probably bring up the topic and find out where you stand, whether you're boyfriend and girlfriend, and what needs to happen. And if they are not forthcoming, then you might need to cut your losses and move on, because that's very important. Sometimes we waste our time trying to negotiate our way into people's lives when they do know what they want. And sometimes they just are stringing us along, not because it's personal, but simply because they have realized that we are not right for each other. People know who's not right for them and who's right for them. So that's very important when you consider exclusivity. But you consider these two options. Both of them are okay. It's up to you what you want, but make sure that you're coming from a place of clarity, and make sure that you draw timelines for yourself, not for them. You don't give them any ultimatums. You give yourself an ultimatum and a boundary to say, at this point, if this is not happening, then I need to move on. And do move on. You can express to them and say, this is what I look for in my relationships. I prefer to know where I stand and to be exclusive with someone before I sleep with them. And I also like to know what kind of relationship I am in around the 3 month marker. And since this is not happening, and I have asked, maybe you've asked once, and I've asked and there's nothing happening, then I feel that we need to go our separate ways. And that is very healthy. And then you actually go, don't threaten. Make sure that by the time you communicate this, you are actually living. So that's really important. And when you are in a relationship and you live together, you are married, if you decide that you've got problems, you need to discuss problems along the way and try to resolve them. Actually, that's what you need to do. No controlling, no forcing, no demanding. And if you decide that you have tried your best and you want to leave, don't ghost. Even if it's for a short time, communicate your departure. That's very adult, because it's nice to let people know what you feel and why you think that you need to exit, because that's also feedback for them that can help them to move forward. And when you leave relationships and you are on your own, before you get into your next relationship, please heal. Don't get into the habit of getting from one relationship to another. Make sure that you are really reflecting on whatever is happening in your life, and don't get into situations without clarity. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you continue to work on the quality of your life before relationships. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.